Chapter 85. What gift? Faye walked up to Wilbur. She saw that he had used up quite a few sheets of paper but could not for the life of her figure out what he was writing or drawing. Wilbur said, "Stop looking. You won't understand it anyways. I won't be having dinner at home. You'll have to settle dinner on your own. I'm going to the Graysons' home." The words made Faye smile, her chest thumping with warmth. Yet Wilbur did not understand the consequences of what he had just said to Faye and hurried out of the door with the pieces of paper. At the same time, over at the Grayson household, the chef had prepared a table full of dishes, and Benjamin had also taken out his finest wine. Benjamin, Gordon, and Susie sat on the sofa, waiting quietly for their guest. Just then, the doorbell rang. Susie hurried to open the door. "You're here, sir? Please, come in." Susie's treatment of Wilbur seemed to have changed overnight. It could be said that she practically saw him as a god now. After all, her grandfather's health had improved dramatically thanks to Wilbur. Wilbur nodded politely, making his way into the living room. Benjamin was already walking over, grabbing Wilbur's hand warmly and leading him to the dining table. "Young man, there aren't many people I invite to my house. I have to say, however, you're the first person to turn down an invitation to my house," Benjamin chuckled. Wilbur hurried to say, "I'm really sorry for that. I really couldn't make it the other day." I know. Benjamin was not one to prod, and merely said, "Of course, I can understand that young folk like you have so many things on your plate, but you should still pay an old man like me a visit when you have the time. I'm really sorry. I'll come and see you as much as I can whenever I'm free in the future." Wilbur was a little embarrassed by Benjamin's words. Just then, Gordon laughed as he poured everyone a glass of wine. Benjamin raised his glass. "I'm in much better shape tonight than I have been in the past few decades. We're going to drink to our heart's content tonight." Wilbur smiled, and the three men drained their glasses. He did not hold back his appetite, digging into the dishes enthusiastically. He finished plate after plate and cleared up most of whatever was on the table. He did not turn down a single invitation to drink as well, regardless of whether it was from Benjamin, Susie, or Gordon. Anyone who raised their glass to him would result in him downing his glass. Benjamin was overjoyed to see Wilbur being so sporting, and the dining room was filled with laughter and chatter. The maids serving them were all rather surprised. It had been years since old Mr. Grayson had been this happy, and it was all because of this man. The dinner lasted over an hour, and the wine was almost finished. Wilbur put down his glass at last. "Master Grayson, I've eaten and drank enough. How about we have a chat somewhere a little quieter?" Benjamin lit up at the words, nodding his head. "Come to my study." The two of them got to their feet, and Wilbur said, "You come too, Gordon." Gordon looked at his father, who nodded. The three men went to Benjamin's study. Wilbur took out the pieces of paper he had been working on earlier in the day and put them on the table. Benjamin and Gordon looked at the papers, and then at Wilbur. Wilbur said, "This paper contains a simplified version of my cultivation methods called the Godly Training Form, useful in both combat training and meditation. This here is a formula for a pill that I call the Strong Will Pill." Oh, Benjamin's eyes were practically shining, and Gordon looked overjoyed as well. They were pretty much able to guess what Wilbur was hinting at. "Gordon, you can pick a team of elite soldiers to train them using the Godly Training Form, as well as have them take the Strong Will Pill. I assure you they'll be the strongest team in the army within the next 6 months and become your best asset," Wilbur said. Benjamin let out a bark of delighted laughter, and Gordon was nothing but pleased as well. Wilbur smiled. "This is just what I've gotten from my time cultivating. I'll send you some related videos for text later. As for the Strong Will Pill, the ingredients available on the market these days are only enough to make a simplified version." Both Gordon and Benjamin knew that Wilbur was a true master cultivator, and any cultivation method or pill formulas he had up his sleeve were nothing short of extraordinary. All at once, Gordon had fallen deep into thought. An elite team trained just for battle, charging towards the enemy like a sharpened weapon and tearing through the enemy's chests. Or a team who dropped down from the sky, catching the enemy off guard and throwing the enemy camp into chaos. That would truly be a sight to behold. Benjamin, who was a veteran, knew more than Gordon and understood even better how valuable Wilbur's pieces of paper were, smiled joyously. Just then, Wilbur had finished sending the God training form videos to Gordon's phone. Master Grayson, Gordon, I'll be on my way now. Let's meet again when we next have the time. Wilbur got up to leave, and Benjamin walked him to the door. Gordon, still deep in his fantasies, hardly noticed the two of them walking out of the room. Benjamin sent Wilbur off at the front door, but not before saying, "Wilbur, I know just how capable you are. The nation needs someone like you." Benjamin's words could be seen as a life-changing statement for regular people.